the cost to raise someone's child. The cost to raise someone's child. What's up, everybody? My name is Kier, and you are watching The Important Things That Really Matter. Today, we're going to be talking about the cost to raise someone's child. The cost to raise someone's child. In this series of videos, I'm going to be talking about, of course, the cost of raising somebody's child. I'm going to show you how to be able to determine how much money you're going to have to spend if you happen to marry a person who has one or more children. I'm going to show you how to be able to determine the costs associated with dating someone that has one or two children or more children, so that you can sit down here and estimate how much it's going to cost to be with this person if you do decide to marry them, so you already know in advance how much it's going to cost you. Okay, so we're going to get into it. Now, one of the things that people don't understand is this. The cost to raise a child in the past used to be over $300,000. The cost to raise a child in the past was over $300,000 just to get the person from 0 to 18 years old, okay? Now, due to inflation, now due to the cost of living, it now takes over $400,000. It now takes over $400,000 to raise one child from 0 to 18 years old. Do you understand? Now, I'm going to go and show you how to be able to determine how much money you're going to have to spend if you marry a person who has one or two children. Now, I myself personally, I have dated in the past probably about a half dozen women who had two children, okay? At the stage that I am right now, would I date a woman with two children? Now, probably not. Maybe one child. I prefer to be with a woman who does not have any children. That's what I prefer. It may be different for you. That's why I'm putting this video together, so that you can be able to determine how much it's going to cost you per child if you happen to marry a person that has one or two children. So, I just gave you the answer. Part of the answer is determining what is the amount of cost to be able to raise a child from 0 to 18 years old, and that cost is over $400,000. The cost is over $400,000 due to inflation and the cost of living. Now, my background is I am an engineer, an automotive engineer, and I was one of the automotive engineers that was responsible for costs. I was one of the automotive engineers that dealt with direct and indirect labor. I assisted a Fortune 500 automobile manufacturing facility to save about $20 million over the course of 10 years. I helped us a Fortune 500 automotive manufacturer about $20 million in costs. I've saved this company over a 10-year period, okay? And so I know what I'm talking about: costs, manpower, reduction of costs, eliminating non-value added things from people's jobs, and also having a lot of experiences in launching of new vehicles. I have a whole lot of experience in this area when it comes down to costs. And so I estimate that now the figure to raise a child is over $400,000. This increase is due to inflation and due to the cost of living. And so I'm going to show you how to determine how much money it's going to cost you. Now, let's say you're dating a woman who has one child. The child is 5 years old or younger. You might as well automatically assume that you're going to be spending $400,000, especially if the child is 5 years old or younger. Remember, it costs over $400,000 to raise a child up to 18 years old. So if the woman has one child and the child is 5 years old or younger, just automatically assume you're going to have to pay about $400,000 that you're going to spend to get that person to 18 years old. That's per child. Did you understand what I'm saying? That is per child. Now, if the kid is 5 years old or younger, you're going to spend about $400,000 to get the kid, to raise the kid up to 18. Now, if that kid is, let's say like 8 years old to 10 years old, you can take that $400,000 and chop it in half. So it's going to, at the stage that they're at 8, 9, or 10 years old, you can chop the $400,000 in half. It's going to cost you, at 8 to 10 years old, it's going to cost you about $200,000 to raise that child from 8 to 10 years old up to 18, about $200,000. Okay? Now, that's because the child is 8 to 10 years old. Now, what if that woman has 2 children? What if that woman has 2 children and both of these children are 5 years old or younger? What did I tell you before? We're going to use the number of $400,000 if the child is 5 years old or younger. If she has 2 children, you take $400,000 times 2, multiply it together. What do you have? It's going to cost you, if you marry this woman, about $800,000 to raise those 2 children that are not yours up to 18 years old. It's going to cost about $800,000 in child care costs. Do you understand? 2 children. It's going to cost about $800,000 to get them to 18 years old. Okay? Now, so these are things that you really should be considering. This is how you determine. Now, we're just talking about childcare costs. And the childcare costs for 2 people that are 2 kids that are 5 years old and under is going to be, for 2 kids, like I said it before, about $800,000. Now, that's only up to 18. That is only up to 18. Now that you have that information and how to be able to determine or make adjustments to that cost, such as if the kid is 8, 9, or 10 years old, you know you slice that $400,000 in half to about $200,000. So at that age range, you know to that at 8 to 10 years old, you're going to spend about $200,000 per child just to get them to 18. You follow what I'm saying? That's just the 18. Now, in part 2 of this, we're going to talk about what happens after the kids get to 18. So, would you please like? Would you please share? Would you please subscribe? Would you please subscribe? Would you please subscribe? Would you please like? Would you please share? Would you please subscribe? Trying to get this channel to grow. I appreciate you. Come back for part 2, and peace.